In this video, I'm going to give you 5 things you're going to love and also hate about Home Assistant Amber. Don't get me wrong, I love Home Assistant, and actually Home Assistant Amber I think is going to be an excellent product. If you haven't heard about Home Assistant Amber before, it's Home Assistant's new all-in-one smart home solution. It sort of replaces the Home Assistant Blue, which was launched last year. This is actually going to be a completely new hardware built by the guys at Nabukaza. The brains of the device will be a Raspberry Pi Compute Module 4, and you're going to have different configurations in which you can get it. And at the moment, at the time of the recording, this has been fully crowdfunded, so it is basically going to happen. But I don't want to just give you the good news about this product, but also want to give you the not so good news about it. And actually, let's just get straight into that. Let's roll the intro. The first thing you're not really going to like, if you're quite impatient and you want this product to get to your home as soon as possible, you're just going to have to wait, and you're just going to have to wait some considerable time. At the time of recording, it's September 2021, and the earliest date is going to be June or July 2022. Also, if you get a certain configuration, the all-in-one built configuration, you're actually looking at September, October, November. So if you're actually ever looking to get this product, get it now, literally now, and I'll leave a link to the Crowdfund page where you can actually make the purchase. But get it right now, because you're just gonna wait a long time. But if you're not really happy of waiting this long, you're not gonna like this point. The second thing I don't like is the clarity with the options. And I'm looking at this from a point of view of someone that isn't into smart homes or isn't into tech or isn't a geek in general. And I think they will a bit struggle to understand which one of these Ambers they need to purchase. So I'm thinking that the blue looked like more something that someone that wasn't a geek would purchase out of the box, because it sort of had the right look and feel, it was easier to understand, and it was only one option. You just purchased the blue. But with the Amber, there's like 2 free options. You can get the Home Assistant Amber for $149, which is pre-installed with everything inside, but that ships until November 2020. You can get the Amber Kit with the Power over Ethernet, and that's $99, but then you need to include your own custom enclosure. You can get the Amber Kit with PoE, Power over Ethernet, for $99. You need to include your own Raspberry Pi Compute Module 4, which a lot of people might not pick up on, and they might think it's just going to work out of the box. And then you have the DIY option where you can assemble the whole thing yourself, and that's coming around $99. The reason why I mention this is because I really want more people to back Home Assistant, and I want more people to get into Home Assistant that come from outside of the technical sphere. The third thing you're not going to particularly like about this product is the lack of the Z-Wave compatibility out of the box. So in the past, you would buy a hub, and then you would need to plug in either a Zigbee stick or a Z-Wave stick to get that connectivity, so you can connect Z-Wave and Zigbee devices. Now, the good news, which I'll mention later on in the video, is that Zigbee is compatible with Home Assistant Amber, but Z-Wave isn't. So if you're a Z-Wave fan, you might feel left out. There's actually reasons why, because of this, because of having too many radios, it makes it difficult to get it approved, and also in terms of functionalities, but Z-Wave is missing. Fourth point is that Home Assistant and the team at Nabukaza are really experienced in building software. They've been doing it for 8 years, and they have good track record with that. In terms of hardware, they are just starting on their journey, and I really hope they succeed, and I hope it goes really well, and hope Amber is a big success. But this is going to be iteration 1.0, because Home Assistant Blue really was an Android, which was a piece of hardware that already existed. Whereas with Amber, it's the first time that certain components are being designed. Now, I know the guys at Nabukaza will thoroughly test everything, but you still need to be aware of that there's a little bit of a lack of experience maybe, or a track record of Home Assistant delivering hardware. The team have several partners as a factory and a plant in Shenzhen, which are going to be doing the manufacturing, and thanks to the crowd supply platform that they're using, that will be sort of doing the logistics and the distribution. So maybe this is not going to be a problem at all. What we'll do is, as soon as I get this in my own hands, I will be testing it and running extensive tests, and time will tell the reliability of this piece of hardware. Now remember, this is quite important, because we want really our smart homes to be as reliable as possible. That is the reason why people pick Home Assistant, because Home Assistant is local control and can work without the internet. So we want a piece of hardware that's going to be reliable. One last point on this. remember that when you get software wrong, you can just push a new release and you can sort of fix it. But when you get hardware wrong and it's gone and it's been shipped out to a lot of people, you can't really pull that back and you can't do a hot fix on top of it. That's a fundamental difference between hardware and software. And the last thing you might not like, and this might be personal, is the actual case. So I was a big fan of the Home Assistant Blue case. I really loved how that looked. I never got my hands on one because of the shipping delays in the UK. But I just looked and I loved the look and feel of it. And I thought it would be probably a nice thing you would put somewhere in the living room or not in your network cabinet. The Home Assistant Amber has this transparent look and feel, and that's sort of done because of the open source mindful mindset, and that sort of recalls that with the design. But I'm not a fan of it too much. I don't think it's going to look good if you don't put it, unless you put it close in a cabinet. And it feels like this is again towards more the geeks that will have a network cabinet and will have these things out of sight, and not towards a normal user which might have this just close to their router somewhere on their living room. So now that we've got the 5 things that I don't like about Home Assistant Amber out of the way, now we can talk about the 5 things that I actually do like about Home Assistant Amber. But before we get into it, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's go. So obviously the best news is that this is going to be an all-in-one hub. All-in-one hub at $149, which I think is competitive. All-in-one means we also have that Zigbee controller within the device itself, and there's also a promise that this will be a lot better than having the Zigbee module attached afterwards via the USB. So you finally have something that's going to be plug and play for me, at least, because I don't use Z-Wave. It's also going to be pre-installed, and it's going to be Home Assistant's de facto option. If we want to install Home Assistant at a friend's house, we can do so with this Home Assistant Amber without actually doing anything. Just plug it in and it connects up with all the Zigbee devices. The second thing I really like about Home Assistant Amber is the power over Ethernet option. This option is going to be really cool for those geeks like me that love power over Ethernet. That sort of means that with one cable, you give it network and you give it power. Why network? Because it has no Wi-Fi module, and that's sort of done also by design, because hardwiring a connection gives reliability to this little box, which is what we want. And it can also give it power, so you can install it in other places, and it's that one less brick that you don't need to have. So I love the PoE option. Third thing I like is that it's looking at the future. It's looking at the new standard called Matter coming in, and this will be compatible with Matter whenever that comes out and is released. So that sort of gives us some faith that by the time 2022 hits, when Matter might be more around, more available, this box will be compatible with that. So that will be great. The fourth thing I like is that how everything is done within Home Assistant with an open source mentality. Even the hardware that is being built is built with that same mentality. So that really encourages collaboration and a better product. Will there be an Amber version 2 being released next year? Probably. Like as any other technology company, we have cycles, and every year we have a newer model of something else. So I don't think this Home Assistant Amber version we're seeing today will be the last version that we'll ever see of it. It might be called something different, but I'm sure that Home Assistant and the team at Nabukaza are going through a journey of creating hardware and making it better and better as it goes along. Now, really the fifth thing that I actually like is competitive pricing, because if you look at the pricing, the price per performance ratio, it really hits a good sweet spot, because that Odroid comes around $150, $160, $170. This comes in $149, but if you do the DIY kit, it comes in a lot less. And I think it's competitive pricing. The good thing is it doesn't use the SD card, which is a great thumbs up, and it uses the eMMC module, which is a lot more reliable in terms of this flash storage. In conclusion, Home Assistant Amber has been received by the community with a huge amount of investment. It smashed that record in record time. I think in 3-4 days, we're over it. At the time of recording, at the moment, we've raised $161,000, so way over the goal, 115% funded, but this is going to go up and up and up. So there is an appetite from the community for this device. A lot of us will buy it because personally, we just like the newest, greatest things from Home Assistant. Not sure how many newbies and new people from Home Assistant will be buying this. Let me know in the comment section down below. If you do have an existing system, an existing Odroid, or if you're running it on a NAS and the performance is fine and it's all working fine, there isn't really a real reason for you to buy this, apart from supporting Home Assistant project, which is huge. If you're a fan about it, you can support the Home Assistant project by purchasing the Home Assistant Amber, link in the description below, and also by just purchasing the Nambu Casa subscription, which will help a lot. The more we help out with Home Assistant as a project, the more features will come out, and really we are protecting Home Assistant from being bought out, you know, and going private or whatever might happen. Bad things might happen in the future if the fans are not funding it properly. I'm going to leave you here a video where you can click and you can find out how I've built a dashboard, a wall panel with Home Assistant, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of it, just clicking that right here. This was Gio from Smart Home Makers. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.